Welcome to all our patrons. This is
Hi guys.
the review of the RBC Heritage, which is week 2 on the Bogey Boys Fantasy Golf League. Before we start, big congrats to Josh picking John Ram, getting the win, Shane Lowry, Billy Horschel, and Sepp Straka, all players making the cut.
I'm just so positive that I picked Sepp Straka, you know. I just didn't.
No,
Kevin
he was the
man.
pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was the pick. I went, madness, and picked some freshman. Amateur finished almost lasted. But yeah, no, congratulations, Josh. We've sent over the £50 appear on clothing voucher for your victory in the major, and obviously is now leading the order of merit for the month and the overall order of merit.
Me and you were absolutely propping it up bottom.
Propping it up though at the bottom, 60 points, 200 behind Josh. We are.
It's only a little pot 4 cut or something, that, isn't it? Like you know, like or a pot 4 doing well. It is. It's easy. It's easy to.
Yeah, it's easy.
If Josh can do it,
we can all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is second, 230. So Josh has got a 30-point lead.
Need to look into his picture. I want to say I need to Stuart's inquiry because he holds all the cards, doesn't he? Nah, I'm joking. Well played, Alex.
Phil Mickelson, he went 4, got him 150 points. Phil, top point scorer for the week. Yeah.
He put them in and then he texted the group saying, "Just they're the only 4 golfers I've heard of." And then he just shows you, doesn't it? Like
it does.
When I was going, remember one time last year, I was going for like Luke List and Kevin Kistner just because they had the same
KK and LL.
And then I was beating you. That's all that matters.
Well, this time we've gone for full stats, and it's hard not to at the RBC, isn't it? Harbour Town Golf Links.
Oh, it's the site of the best moment in Bogey Boys podcast history, isn't it?
It was unbelievable.
Webb Simpson.
If no one's seen the clip, go on the Instagram and try and
we'll
find
resurface it. It was
just
unbelievable.
Go to bits, don't we? I don't know what happened that week, but we just went nuts, didn't we? We couldn't get our words out.
It just happened. It was something to do with Webb Simpson.
It was Webb Simpson. Yeah, don't start again. Let's move on. But yeah, so obviously, as we know, Harbour Town Golf Links, it's known for its tight fairways, get a position off the tee.
It is. It's not the longest, is it? It's only 7,121 yards, par 71.
Yeah,
but it's known for its small greens, tight fairways.
Well, that's it. Yeah, even if you hit the fairway, if you're in the wrong position on the fairway, them small greens become even smaller because you've got the overhanging trees as well. So it's not just about hitting the fairways and getting it accurate around there. It's about where you position it because you've got it's very well strategically placed bunkers as well.
Yeah.
So
the last 2 winners, Jordan Spieth and Stuart Sink, they were first tee to green strokes gained.
Yeah.
So that just shows you.
It's key, yeah, and you need to scramble well. So, the average on the PGA Tour distance is in excess of 280, between 280, 290 yards off the tee. Round here, the average is 260, 265.
Yeah.
So you will see a lot of 3-woods, a lot of positional plays off the tee, which essentially is going to leave longer clubs into the greens, and it's smaller targets. So that's why the scoring is never, they never blow the course out the water. But the better iron strikers are always the ones who perform well here.
Yeah, as you say, with the small greens, when I looked at the size of all the greens and averaged them out, it's 3,700 square foot on average, the greens.
Well done.
Yeah. Well, that's smaller, isn't it, compared to you've just come from Augusta, where
they are the smallest greens on tour. Yeah, the smallest greens on tour. So you are looking for players this week who are very accurate. It doesn't.
It's a ball strikers tournament.
Yeah,
isn't it?
you're never gonna outpower this place, no matter what. You need to keep the ball in the right positions, and then when you do miss greens, which is inevitable because they are so small, you just need to scramble well. So they're the statistics that I've certainly been looking at for this week. Is strokes gained off the tee, better iron players and things like that.
I've gone for driving accuracy.
Yeah,
obviously, because although you can be strokes gained approach, you still need to be in the positions to hit the greens.
Yeah, of course.
And I've gone greens regulation, and I've just looked at mainly off the tee, mate.
Same, yeah, because there's 3 par 5s on this track. It's a par 71, like you say, but regardless of distance, hole 2 has a 2.7% eagle rate, and hole 5 has a 1.9% eagle rate, which is, they just don't give up
null and void.
Null and void, yeah, exactly, as we've seen on this podcast. So,
hey, I forgot to mention on the Masters there, the winning formula, no doubles, was null and void.
He made on the first hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was null and void.
Oh, yeah, but anyway.
But, this is, like we mentioned there, it's a designated event, so the field is jam-packed with unbelievable talent. Obviously, Rory's announced this week that he's withdrawing, which is his second withdrawal in the first 6 designated events, which is disappointing considering he was the one who was calling out that we need these to get the players.
He just needs them. He's going through that transition, his wedges, putters, slagging the driver, having a shocker at the Masters and withdrawing this week. He's in a bit of a
so Rory's
mad headspace, isn't he?
Rory's not there. Obviously, Tiger's not there. Other notables that are missing in the top 50 in the world, at least, is Matsuyama has decided not to play, and Aaron Wise is still taking a break. So, other than that, we've got 27 of the top 30 players in the world in attendance. The purse increase has gone from 8 million last season to now 20 million, which is across the board. You mentioned there Jordan Spieth, defending champ. He's finished 13 under par last season to win it, so you can see it doesn't give up that much on the course. So it'll be interesting to see. Scotty Scheffler's playing his first tournament here as well, so he's never played this event before. A lot of the players, they do tend to take the week off because of how grueling the Masters is. So it's going to be like no other RBC Heritage we've seen before.
Yeah.
Strongest field. So if we moved on to our picks then, who have you gone for in pot 1?
So pot 1, I've gone for Colin Morikawa.
Snap.
I've
gone for him, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you my reasons. Do you know, I was going to go for Jon Rahm because of all the obvious reasons. First in the world, first in the FedEx. But he's 76th in driving accuracy. And I just think that'll bring him unstuck this week.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Colin Morikawa. He's second in driving accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 9th in strokes gained overall. And he's 8th in greens and regulation. Coming off a top 10 at the Masters. The one thing that was nearly taking me back to Jon Rahm, he's 119th strokes gained putting. So that is a worry. But it's a ball striker's golf course. And there's no one better with a mid and short iron than for striking the ball than Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, and he's trending in the right direction. Looking at his rounds around this course as well, he's played 12 competitive rounds with a scoring average of 69, and in his last 3 tournaments, he's finished 10th, 28th, and 13th. You mentioned there second in driving accuracy. He's also second in approach to the green.
Yeah.
So his game just sets up perfectly for this tournament. He's just under 65% in scrambling. But what I did notice when I watched him at the Masters, his short game was looking sharp.
It was.
I think if he hasn't won on the PGA Tour in nearly 2 years now, Colin Morikawa. So, I think that's the only thing that makes me think he's a bit more hungry as well. He wants to get that one over the line. So, he hasn't won on US soil in over 2 years.
So his last win was the PGA? Or has he won another event since then?
He's won another event, but just not on US soil.
Right.
So he hasn't won in America for almost 2 years now.
And he's better than that.
He is. Yeah.
Like, he's much better than that, isn't he?
Yeah.
When you just, it's just end of. He's better than that, isn't he? And
well, you mentioned here that you nearly picked Jon Rahm. I nearly picked JT Poston. Yeah.
Right.
So, over from 2017 to 2022, so in the last 5 years, JT Poston has played 14 competitive rounds, and he's got the lowest scoring average of all the field, and that includes Patrick Cantley, Shane Lowry, Colin Morikawa, Tyrrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Matt Fitzpatrick, all those players. He's 68.29 scoring average, so always seems to have a good knock round here. His form's been trending too. He finished 34th last week. Previous 2 tournaments, he's finished 9th and 10th before that as well. And he's in the top half of the rankings for strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach the green, and he's 14th in greens in regulation at just under 70%. So,
why don't you change it to him then?
I just, you know what it's like in pot 1.
I just want you to be away from me.
But you do know what it's like in pot 1.
Oh,
it's hard to, that top line, that top 2 lines, it's hard to strain away from them. But I'm going to back him with the bookies, JT Poston, because he's 90 to 1.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think looking at those statistics.
Well, even Morikawa, he's 20-1, and like your big three.
Yeah.
Or your big two, because Rory's pulled out. You're looking at 8-9s-1 for John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
So JT Poston, yeah, that would have been a. Do you know what? I hope he wins. You know.
I'll back him in the bookie, so I hope he wins as well.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So who have you gone for pot 2 then?
My pot 2 is Keith Mitchell.
Wow.
As you as well.
Same as well.
Yeah. Well,
I think this
probably
course,
for the same reasons. Well, he's 100-1. He's 55th in the FedEx. And he's a 46th in the World Golf Rankings. He's always there or thereabouts, isn't he? He's first total driving, and he's 7th strokes gained off the tee.
Yeah,
and he's 24th strokes gained total. Knock out the few that aren't there that are probably above him. Probably top 20, isn't he? If you take out Rory and all that.
Well, I think and you look at 67% of greens in regulation as well, and he's got a positive strokes gained for putting this season. So his strokes gained putting is actually better than Morikawa's. He obviously hasn't. It's Morikawa's greens in regulation was just over 70%. He's at 67, so pretty similar. Morikawa was 8th in greens in regulation.
Well, it's that we noticed on the strokes gained on the greens in regulation between like first, which was John Rahm, which was like say 74% to 68, you can be 80th, and you're only talking 6%, which is like 3 greens or something.
It's the caliber of players,
of course.
So Keith Mitchell's definitely he's made 12 of 14 cuts so far this season. He's had 5 top 25s and 3 top 10s. So
the only thing that was worrying a little bit for Keith Mitchell, and obviously he's in pot 2 and he's 100-1, so he's obviously got weaknesses. He's 106th in approach, and I think your approach play around here has got to be bob on. So if he needs to clean that up a little bit, but like I say, I've gone for in the first 2 pots. I've gone for people who are driving the ball well, and he's first total driving. So
no one's better.
He's putting himself in them sorts of positions, clean up his approach play a little bit. He could. He's in prime position. 1,000,000% to
I'm backing him because
get top 10.
Yeah, I'm backing him because he's in my pot 2 as well. So that was easy enough. What about pot 3?
So are we getting separated then?
Well, hopefully you haven't picked Aaron Rai for pot 3.
No, I've gone for Akshay Bhatia.
Okay.
272nd in the world, 250-1, 9th greens in regulation, 13th strokes gained approach. He's 5th in proximity, so that bears well on small greens.
It does.
109th strokes gained total, which isn't the best, but he's only just become a PGA Tour member, so most of the stats that are here for Akshay are based on his invites that he's had.
Okay. PGA
Tour
stats,
he's 86th in driving accuracy and 65th total driving, 72nd putting, which middle of the pack. But then again, you're pot 3, aren't you?
Yeah.
And from judging, I've never fully watched him play, but I've seen him hit the ball, and he's a ball striker.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's having a good season. He had a good season on the Corn Ferry last year. He won his first event as an official Corn Ferry member, and then fell off, finishing 30th overall. But he's earned special temporary membership to the PGA Tour by finishing runner-up in the 2023 Puerto Rico Open a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So keen to obviously cement his membership on the PGA Tour.
Well, that's how Zalatoris got it, wasn't it?
Exactly.
So he's taking the same path as him. Getting that, playing very well on the Corn Ferry Tour, getting the invites.
Well, didn't Zalatoris win 3 times? Oh no, Zalatoris.
Mito Pereira won 3 times.
Mito Pereira, but Zalatoris wasn't a full member, but then he had to win to cement his membership.
He wasn't a full member, and then he kept finishing top 10 with his invites. So he was getting him next place, and he was playing so well, and then eventually he got his card through the way he played.
He's going to be a PGA Tour player full very shortly, isn't he, really?
Yeah, and he's only young as well, isn't he? So yeah, he's got plenty.
All of his stats there were lining up to he's up there. He's top 10 in a couple of categories, and he's floating around in the top 100 with a few categories. So pot 3 to make the cut, I think he's a solid bet.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Aaron Rai?
Aaron Rai, 251 like Bhatia. He's again 9th in driving accuracy for the season. He's at 67% of fairways hit, and he's 15th in greens and regulation at 69%. Yeah. So I think based on how this course
fairways and greens,
up, he's also first in the most consecutive greens and regulation in a row. He's at 33 greens in a row, and nobody's beaten that this season.
That's what you want.
Results wise this season, he's missed 4 cuts in 16. So You know, he's playing well and he's making cuts and he's competing for the 4 rounds most of the time. He's had 3 top 25s, 1 top 10, and his last 2 events on the PGA Tour, he was tied 29th at the Valero and tied 19th at the Players.
Yeah.
So, you know, when he's turning up and he's playing, he's competing. So I think a pot 3 with those odds and given his statistics and the way he's striking the ball and playing, you know, I think his game is really suited for Harbour Town Golf Links.
No, 1,000,000%.
Pot
so
4.
my pot 4 is Russell Knox coming in with 0 form. Miss
like so stats.
Yeah, but like I mean,
Nothing.
No, he's got stats.
Okay,
he's just got no form. He's missed 6 out of the last 7 cuts. So, but
he turned it around.
Well, he has had a second in 2016 here, and that was a year when he won twice.
Sometimes players can play really bad, then the course is just
where it suits them. Yeah, he's 119th in the FedEx and he's 213th in the world.
Yeah,
he's
not playing well, has he?
500 to 1, but approach from 100 yards this season, he's first, so that stands him in good stead on a shorter course. He's 4th in proximity, and he's 13th in greens and regulation. What's letting him down is his strokes gained total, which is he's 132nd, but his strokes gained approach is 12th. His putting average is 178th, and his strokes gained putting he's 162nd. So
he's getting the ball on the green, he's just not converting.
So just looking at that, he's 55th in driving accuracy there. So if he can obviously drive it how he does,
it sounds like the course would suit his game.
This is what I'm saying. He's hitting greens. He's driving it okay. He's hitting it close, and he's good with his approach. It's just his putting.
Just needs to knock them in, yeah.
So I can't remember who it was a couple of weeks ago when I was like, if he has a good putting week, he can turn this round, and he went and done it. So Russell Knox, you know what you've got to do. Be warned.
Knocks on the door.
Yeah.
I've gone Matthias Schwab.
Nice.
Hasn't had that many starts on the PGA Tour this season, but he's made 4 of his last 6 cuts. He finished 8th at the Corrales Punta Cana after challenging there, and 54 at the Players. Say his stats aren't the best, but the 2 things that stood out for me was scrambling and driving accuracy. So, like I say, you know, his approach to the greens nowhere near to the caliber of the players that have picked in the pots above. But I just think as a pot 4, he's 61.6% on driving accuracy, and he's got similar scrambling stats to Morikawa.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, if he sharpens up his approach game, his game's obviously at a decent standard if he's finishing top 10 in a PGA Tour event, albeit the Corrales Punta Cana is a weakened field. But, you know, I just think with small targets this week, scrambling's going to play a big part.
Massive.
And, you know, if he's getting the ball well off the tee, you know, these pros are good enough to have an iron day and knock a few putts in. We could see him at least make the cut and have a challenge at 600 to 1, pot 4. I'd say
that's all. That's all you can ask for if you pot 4 and make the cut. And then once that's done, anything else after that's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
In judging for the game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I think we've both hopefully. Our pot 1s and 2s do well, and then hopefully my pot 3 and 4 do well.
It's always about
we need to get off the bottom of that leaderboard anyway. This is embarrassing.
That. Do you know what though? In our defense, if we look at the league table, like who have we picked? Pot 1, I went Rory, missed the cut, had a stinker. Tittle Hatton was like that for the whole way, and then had a poor final round.
Like
he could have got a top 20.
If I had to pick with my head, I was picking Scheffler or Rahm or Rory. Like really, they were the 3 players to pick, and I don't really pick Rory, so I probably would have went Rahm or Scheffler.
Yeah,
that gets you a few points, not Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger was a mad one.
And then Max Homer you just let me down, Max.
Yeah, Max Homer. At least he made the cut.
He did.
So, and then I went Taylor Gooch and Gordon Sargent. Where I come from. It's just off the cuff. Do you know there's a couple of, you know, know what got me to pick him? It was the stats that we chose, wasn't it? Where we said like he's the first freshman to win the NCAA and the caliber of players that you put him in.
You just picked the wrong amateur, didn't you?
Yeah, I picked the wrong amateur, yeah. But anyway,
60
points we both got. So we're second to bottom. And
it'd be horrible, wouldn't it, if we were leading?
Yeah, got to give everyone a chance. Yeah. But I don't think our picks were that bad.
I'll DM you your £50 voucher this week. Oh no, it's for the PGA, isn't it?
This is it, yeah. So no, I hope everyone's enjoying it anyway. And we're going to be doing these every tournament week now. We're going to be coming with statistics of what we think is going to drive quality play and the champion at the end of the week. So, we both think Morikawa's going to get it over the line. Keith Mitchell's a good bet for his odds. I think JT Poston at 90-1 as well. I'm definitely going to be backing him this week. So I'm gonna put my money on those three: Keith Mitchell, JT Poston, and Colin Morikawa. Colin Morikawa for the win each way on the other two, and then I might do a little top 20 for them and include Aaron Ryan.
Over the season, one of us has got to get a top 20 accumulator, and haven't we?
Got to.
Like,
putting all this effort in, we've surely got to get rewards, haven't we?
If not, staff betting's going out the window. We're going to do guest betting.
But yeah, look, if anyone that's listening who's not involved in the game, feel free to sign up. As I say, there is a order of merit for each month. So every month, even if you don't play for the month of April and you start afresh in May, all the points are cut down to 0 and you start a brand new order of merit. The accumulation will still continue for the season. For the season, the overall. So you'll be
even if you just wanted to play for the majors, like there's an individual prize for the majors, isn't there? So
yeah,
there's
exactly.
an incentive. There's essentially three separate league tables and games going at the same time.
Yeah, the way that we've done it is because there's a major every month. There's a prize every month for that one individual week, and then there's 3 to 4 tournaments every month. So whoever accumulates the most points for those 3 or 4 tournaments, there's a prize for that, and then obviously the overall winner will obviously be rewarded with £100 cash. And the more people that play, the more prizes that we'll get. We're having talks, as we said last time, with a couple of manufacturers,
having a go.
And eventually it will grow arms and legs. So get involved, and if not, continue to enjoy the podcast. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope you enjoy your golf this week. And we'll catch you all soon.
Ciao.